I got your big dirty review right here.
Hello, fellow Federation members. This is the Big Dirty Nerd, Jeff, and I got a couple of quick shots I'm going to do here for you. Of course, as you all know, I have been a constant collector of the Starships Collection series from Eaglemoss Collectibles, and these things have actually been coming at me fast and furious, so much so that I actually haven't had an opportunity to review them in such a nice, even pattern as I had originally intended to. That's why you see two of these beautiful things sitting in front of you right now, because I'm going to do a double review. I'm going to do a double review of the two Federation ships, and then a little later on I'm going to do a review of a Jem'Hadar ship and a Cardassian frigate. So let's get started. Let's jump right into this. Again, we know what the box looks like. I'm not going to go into what the box looks like and whatnot, but I am going to talk a little bit about what each ship is. So let's take a look at this one first. This is the USS Thunderchild. It's an Akira Class vessel. And oddly enough, the Akira Class is actually one of the more popular ship classes in the Star Trek universe, even though it's only been seen on screen a couple of times, and it's never been highlighted with a crew or with a main cast or anything like that. It's always been used as more or less cannon fodder for various series, but it's one of those ships that kind of melds the elements of all the different vessels that we're all familiar with. Like, it has the roll bars similar to, not roll bars, but nacelle struts similar to the NX-01. It's got a neat saucer section. It's got, a roll bar here in the center, very similar to the Reliant, to the Miranda class Reliant. So anyway, let's just jump right into this and take a look at the USS Thunderchild. This is actually one of my favorite ones, so much so that when my friend and colleague Darren Han, who has a web series called ReliantAdventures.com, Star Trek Reliant, he has a web series on YouTube that I have a very minor recurring role on as a starship captain. This was actually the class of vessel that I requested that he give me, because it looks very, very cool. It's such a unique design. It's so different than what we've seen in previous starship design with starship design elements. The saucer section's got this very neat, you can probably see it here, I'll get in a little bit closer. It's got a very neat deflector dish pattern underneath here, and it's got the double nacelle struts on the top, along with the Miranda class style roll bar with photon torpedo tubes and photon torpedo pod, which I believe is actually also a sensor pod. And of course, we've got a different shape for the nacelles, if you can see that. Let's just see if I can get that to come in focus for you a little bit. No, it doesn't seem to want to go in focus. Okay. It's not going to focus in, but you can see that the nacelles have a different shape to them than what we're used to. Okay. And the ship's profile is different. It's very interesting, because if you look at it, you can see that the saucer section actually hangs lower than the nacelles, even though when you look at it from behind, it looks like that, but when you look at it at the side, the warp nacelles look to hang lower than the ship itself, which is odd. Which I keep saying odd. It's not odd. It's just such a unique design that it doesn't lend itself to the regular Federation / Starfleet design. Okay, so the scale of this is nice. It's a little bit heavy, which is very cool. The detail, of course, is absolutely fantastic. Let me just see if I can slowly bring this in here so you can see the detail on it. Yep, there you go. You can see the escape pods here and all the windows. And I believe you can even see the print, USS Thunderchild, although that might be upside down. Let me see if I can get that in there for you. No, that says United Federation of Planets. I'm sorry. I don't see USS Thunderchild on this anywhere. Anyway, not a big worry. So there you go. There's some more ventral. I believe it's ventral. You ship type people might know what it's called. Ventral detail. Let's see if I can get the nacelles in there again. No. Oh, there we go. There's a little bit of a clearer shot of the nacelles. So yeah, so again, Eaglemoss has outdone itself with the detail on these ships. Just absolutely fantastic. Well worth the money that you spend on it. Okay, so let's get the base set up. There we go. USS Thunderchild, Akira Class. Or Akira Class? Those of you who know how to actually pronounce that word, if it's Akira, or Akira Class, just leave it down there in the thingamajig. Let me know. Let me know how badly I'm pronouncing that word or mispronouncing that word. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is the USS Equinox from Star Trek Voyager. Of course, you know the history with this ship. Voyager wasn't the only one stranded in the Delta Quadrant. The USS Equinox was stranded as well. Now, admittedly, I don't know very much about this ship. All I know is that the crew of the ship went rogue, I guess we'll say. They kind of abandoned the principles of the Federation and Starfleet to survive, which is somewhat admirable. But, you know, when you're a member of the Federation of Planets, United Federation of Planets, and a member of Starfleet, you want to hold yourself to a higher standard. These guys did not, and as such, they were left in the Delta Quadrant. I'm really drawing a blank on that episode. I'm not sure if they were actually destroyed or if they were just remained stranded. Now, interestingly enough, the model of the Equinox, I'm just going to pop this out of here again. Getting ready to toss the box. The model of the Equinox was one of the concept designs, original concept designs for Voyager. And you can actually see some of the designs that made it into the final Voyager model, along with the deflector dish here, the way the nacelles are attached. Even though Voyager has folding nacelles, they're flat like what we see here. So the Equinox actually has a flat nacelle. You can see it there, raised on the top but flat on the bottom, which is unique in its design. It has a supplementary deflector dish right here at the very front of the ship. Let me just see if that'll focus in. Gotta love this autofocus when it doesn't work. There we go. So you can see the deflector dish at the front of the ship. So there's one there and one on the ventral side. It's got a captain's yacht, much like on Voyager, right here. Let's see if I bring it in, you can see that a little clearer. Yeah, so there you go. And you can see all the ventral details. Typical Starfleet design, with a primary hull and a secondary hull. It's very sleek. It has a very sleek design. I mean, you could almost call it aerodynamic. The bridge is a little bit different in the sense that it's not raised. It's actually recessed into the primary hull right here. You can see where the bridge section is. And in fact, this kind of looks like the bridge component from the USS Defiant. Because of the way it's shaped right here, you can see the detailing right along here and along the front. It almost looks like it's armored, it's protected. Maybe that's because of some of the threats that the ship was designed to take on. For example, I believe this was one of the ships that was originally designed to fight the Borg. So that would make sense. Its impulse engines are in a bit of an odd spot, which they're right here. You can see them here at the back of the primary hull, here and here. And I just noticed something that I didn't really like. Oh, look how flimsy that is. The nacelles are a little bit, their struts are flimsy on this particular mold. Not too keen on that, but the rest of the mold is solid. I mean, you know, you can see how solid the mold is. You can hear that. But the nacelle struts are a little bit flimsy. I'm afraid to put too much pressure on them. Okay. Have another look at the saucer section. I guess it's not really called a saucer section. We'll call it primary hull because it seems to be joined very closely to the secondary hull. Okay, just give me a second here now while I get the base out. So there you go, a double shot. We got the USS Thunderchild and the USS Equinox both in the same episode. Let's turn these side on so you get a beauty shot of the ships. Alright, there you have it. Thanks again. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Sunday Night Geek. And don't forget to follow our convention page, Facebook, on Facebook, Atlanticon, and follow us, or actually go to our website and check it out, www.atlanti-con.com. That's ATLANTI-con.com. Check out everything that's going on there, and of course you'll be able to eventually link to the YouTube channel from the Atlanticon homepage. Alright, thank you all for watching. Have yourselves a good night. Live long and prosper.